What going on with y'all, man? It's your boy Nick, man. Last time I was talking to y'all a little bit about us being African American and stuff like that. Y'all really got to do some research on that, man. Y'all really need to go in depth and start looking into these things because if you don't, you really don't understand martial law, and the government is trying to get rid of you. And anybody that's claiming to be an African American or Mexican American, Latino or whatever, your life is at stake, man. But besides all of that, that is what's important for y'all right now in the future. But what's important for y'all that's in the past is what you need to know is you brown skinned people, dark skinned, black skinned people, you gotta understand that we didn't come here from Africa. You gotta go out here and ask these questions, man. Like, this is my thing. Look at ancient maps. That's what I try to tell folks to do, man. Like I hadn't been able to get on the computer. I work and try to run my own business and stuff, and I got 4 kids about to be 5, man. A family to take care of. So it's like I try to do as much as I can, man. But I'm gonna try to make these videos for y'all to be able to get this truth as much as you possibly can, man. Like, I'm only one person, so I'm gonna give you the information in which I was able to receive, and I expect each and every one of y'all to go and verify it for yourself. Do not take my word for anything, okay? Do not act as if I'm out here trying to tell you people to follow me and listen to what I'm saying. These are answers that's out there for yourself. You can easily go and get. Now, I will lead you into my direction of how I got it. But once you're able to do that, man, once you're able to see, most people just need the direction to look. You can take the time. It might take you a couple of days or a couple of weeks or whatever to get all the information. But, you have just got to look for it and you'll be able to see it. But the thing is, the first thing, that I try to tell folks look at the ancient maps, man. When people come to think about the 13 colonies and they think about America and all the places that they was at, they come to think about the modern day map. See, what they do is they show you a picture of a modern day map, and then they'll tell you about all of these places. So you would think, okay, well, 30% of America, what we think of as America today, the landmass of the United States, we would think, okay, well, they had about 30% of it at this point in time. And then they'll start telling you all the dates that surround that time. So you will automatically think, oh, it was a whole bunch of them over here. They was everywhere, and this applied to all of us. But if you go look at the actual maps and the actual territory that they actually had access to, then you go to seeing that around 1830, man, they only had a little strip up the coast. Just up the coast, they had a lot of the New York territory, a lot of the Virginia territory, and areas in South Carolina, North Carolina, and Florida just a little bit. But they didn't really have much. Man, I live in Georgia. I went to like the USGS, basically like the census or whatever for Georgia, and state by state it showed city by city when they conquered these places or when they found these places, when these cities was founded, when the first time they actually had interaction. Now, my people have told us that they came, and they told us when they came, and that's the exact same way that I found that they came. They just came and they started encroaching, and they started putting their shit on land and started saying, okay, well, we built this, and our people would be like, okay, well, we'll just go and have it. Y'all already done took it, you didn't ask, but just have it. And eventually they started taking and taking and taking and taking to where they had took everything. Okay, so basically what you got to look at, all right, around, let's say, like 1800, they was out in Savannah only, man. You know what I mean? They had no idea. And these people that was being documented prior to that was the Indian, the Native American people, which was my people, our people, which was us, the Negroes, not the Mongolians, because it is no proof that they had got here before 1830. All right, people know that the Mongolians have been here, but if you look at all the pictures that they got, they show you that there's nothing but little fake $5 Indians. All right, most of these have cowboy suits on with guns and rifle, and they happy, smiling, looking all, like, yeah, because they had just been brought in here to take our image, and that is what the government had set up. They set them people up just like they had done the Moors. They had just changed the identity of the Moors and made them Negro along with us. So they did that so effective to us that they changed our identity to being something else, okay? That is why they actually brought them folks in here. And it was also to help fight against us, because the only thing that they have ever been doing is trying to conquer us. They have never been sitting back here trying to politic and be peaceful. They have been trying to conquer us ever since they got on this soil. And y'all don't understand that, because if you look at the progression from Virginia and out, that is where they landed from, and that is where they pretty much, not where they landed from because they came through the north, but Virginia was one of their cities that they set up down here in the south, which is our territory. Now, you had the Moors that was working with them. The Moors thought, okay, well, if we could control these people, we could send them down to take over the land from us. See, the Moors are our enemy also, man. Y'all gotta understand that, because those people sold us out, and they gave them all the information about us. Okay, they gave the Europeans, that's what the Moors did. They gave them information, and um they tried to set up government and secret societies from the Moors to keep their power. And then the Moors figured, the Europeans, I'm sorry, but the Europeans figured out what the Moors was doing, and then they had changed it on them, took their fezzes off and made them forget who they was by reteaching their generation. So that's why you got a lot of Moors people want to go back through the paperwork and say, oh, we need to go check the papers, we need to check the papers. That's because they can prove that they was got fucked out of paperwork, out of the land that we had given to them. But yet they don't want to try to go back and try to say, well, look, man, we can prove to y'all what we gave, or what y'all gave us this land and this and that, because we know that they migrated here. But the thing about it is, like I was trying to explain, man, let's get back to these maps, all right? If you look at the ancient maps of America, not ancient maps, but just the past, the maps of the past. If you look at the different cities that they in, the different places that these people are these people are located, and then you actually start doing the history of the research of these places. Like, I live in Georgia, so naturally it was natural for me to go and start doing research on Georgia. And when I did, I started seeing that the dates and the stuff that they was claiming to have had in the 15 and 1600s, they did not even know of until after the 1800s. Because after the people had got here and they was actually able to find us, and they actually made contact with us, all they did have been lying. All they have been doing is lying. And then they infiltrated our system, and they infiltrated our people. Now, in my area, we was a little bit scared, so they didn't really have to war with us like that. But down in the South Georgia, they had many wars with people down in South Georgia, the Indians. That's all it was. They'll tell you about the Seminoles and stuff like that, but they don't want to tell you that the whole time they was down there actually fighting wars. They have been fighting wars since they got on this shore. If you look at the national anthem, you will see that there's 4 parts to it. In the 4th part, it starts to tell you that we are conquering this land. That's what they are doing. They are here to conquer this land, and they said they're going to do it in the name of God. And if you look at their documentaries, they tell you that manifest destiny, sharing the words of the Lord. No, these folks that went out here and studied us, who we are, I got other topics, like I try to tell folks that the Bible was written here in America. That's a topic that people don't want to really talk about. They don't want to look at, but it's something that's very true, man. When you look at the archaeology and the evidence that's supporting it, it's very true. You used to have this dude named Lex Will out there that was putting out some information on it, but obviously he has been touched by the government because they have made him delete every single thing that he had, and he don't have the information out there no more. And most of the stuff that he is going now is really, really controlled. So, y'all gotta understand, man. The only way they're gonna do that is I'm gonna disappear. That's it. I'm not changing like that, man. I'm trying to get y'all people to this truth, and that's what it is. That's what it's gonna be. But like I say, let's go back to these maps, man. If you go back down and you start looking, and start seeing, and these people actually in their documentation, they'll tell you in history, well, we had a civil war and everything was destroyed, all the artifacts. Now these people put trophies of everything. They'll kill a fucking fish and put it on their wall. They put trophies of everything. Just like people try to put that information out about the slave ships. Like, they tell you they don't have slave ships. Like, why is it that you can't find that one artifact of it? And when they show you something, it's a couple of boats and a couple of rusted nails and shit. And you like, hold on, that little boat, that little nail made a whole fucking boat? How did this happen? You don't ask questions. People are just going off on to what they have been taught. And, it's like, we don't understand how to reason amongst each other. I got a couple of folks that I chop it up with on Facebook. And, these people, they so stuck in their mind frame, man. Like, they have been brainwashed to think in unrealistic ways, man. It's like they don't understand that these people are letting us destroy ourselves now. They have destroyed us for so long that they can naturally just let us destroy ourselves with our mind, because our mind is so lost. We out here thinking that we African. So you got people out here promoting African knowledge and African spirituality, and not one person is really doing anything African. Because like I tell them, when you actually go research Africa, you see that they actually have a biblical history, and most of the people that's in Africa are actually call themselves Jews. And why is this? And y'all sit up here and talk about African spirituality, but the stuff that you sit up here and claim, our people are doing no research behind. Like, that's why I encourage y'all people to go out here and look without somebody having to tell you to look. I'm gonna try to tell you the right directions to look, but like I'm telling you right now, look into the maps. I mean, if you look into the maps and the territories, man, it will show you that. And then people sit up here and always want to put us under an umbrella. Like, they'll say, you got these people over here in South Carolina, and all the slave dockets come from South Carolina or North Carolina or something like that. Never do you see Alabama. Never do you see over here in Mississippi and stuff like that. You just see people over here in Virginia talking about slavery. But yet you'll be having whole groups of Negroes talking about we were slaves. Well, don't you understand? They only enslaved a few people. They not enslaved this whole, out of 100 million Negroes that they found, they probably enslaved less than 3,000. Do y'all understand what math is, man? Do you know what these numbers are? So they're telling you the fortune and the misfortune of 3,000 people and putting that on to you as if that was you and everybody else. Like their power is just significant. But our people don't even sit up there and question that. We just be like, oh yeah, that's what they told us. That's what they taught us. And we go on and just say, yeah, we'll take it. But what you really got to understand, man, is that these folks don't want you to know the truth. Why would they sit up here and teach you the truth? Because if they was to teach you the truth, you would be angry. And you would be like, man, I can't stand for this. You would stand up and you would rebel against them. But the thing about it is that they don't allow you to understand, that you've been lied to. They don't do that, man. You got people out here right now that's arguing with me, trying to tell me like, bro, we African. Everybody in here is from Africa and all this other stuff. And I try to tell them, hey man, you gotta understand that this is that this is really this is not a lie, man. These folks, this is not a game. They is not playing with you. It's history out there that you can go and look and search and find. But if you don't take the time to do it, you're not gonna find it, man. You got people out here that's just going on their own perception. Like I got a cousin, he was just like, man, I was told that we was from Africa, so now he do everything about Africa, man. And he don't understand that they robbing us blind. We out here clinging to stuff and not doing no research behind it. I just try to motivate y'all, man. I'm not gonna be here to try to get up in here. Excuse me. I'm not gonna be here trying to get up in here and get these people. I'm sorry, man. That was my girl going by, man. She kind of got into my little recording, man. She just being spaced out right now. But you know what I mean? Like the thing about it is that, hey, can you come get Jacob? Yeah. Thank you. Go ahead, appreciate it. But man, all I really want y'all to understand, man, is that you need to go look at these ancient, like you need to look at these maps of America, just everything that you can look at, man, because when you start doing that, you will start seeing that these people told a complete and utter lie about every single thing that they every single thing that they have. That's all they do is tell lies, and they deceitful. Instead of them just being honest and being truthful, they but why would they tell you the truth? If they sit up here and they really want you to if they wanted you to stand up against them and they wanted you to be mad, then they would tell the truth. But they came here to conquer you. This is war, man. Like these people are at war with us and they always have been. It's when the black folks lost the fact that they was here to conquer us, that's when we became docile. That's when we started trying to let these people define us and start teaching us. You know what I mean? Like back in the day, man, we didn't learn with these people. These people came in and they started trying to force that shit. They wanted to segregate. They wanted to desegregate. Our people were segregated. We was fine with it, But the thing about it is, man, is they knew that they needed to be able to control us, man. That's why they had to push us together so that they can try to get and control us, man. But, like I say, I'm just going to, tell y'all, go ahead, look at them maps. Go ahead and research them, man. And they try to tell you about their claim territory. They be like, oh, this is what Georgia was new about. If you look at it, they have this shit all the way clear out to the Mississippi. That's because they had missionary people that went out there and knew that shit. If you look at some of the maps, man, you see, like, as late as 1760, they got maps that they don't even know what's on the other side of the Mississippi. But yet, they'll put it together with France and be like, oh, they putting the new shit that they have found today and applying it to what they knew back then. And try to make you think that they was already out here conquering this land. They didn't move that fast, man. They didn't move fast at all, okay? These folks have only been here for less than 500 years, and all they have been doing is trying to conquer you since they got here. They really took all of your land in 1951, man. 1951 is when they conquered the last of the Indian tribes that was out here. That's when they had pushed them off into the woods. And they were still out there fighting them in the 50s. You know what I mean? While we out there in Vietnam, fighting the World War for somebody else, We got to start going and looking at this stuff, man. Like our people are allowing people to just straight dictate our whole environment, man. But I continue to try to let y'all know, man. I'm gonna hit you with every topic that I can think to hit you with, man, because it's a lot that we've been lied on, But I can tell y'all right now, I'm not perfect, man. I just try my hardest to get clarification and understanding, man. Like I don't go out here and I've been studying for a long time, man. But I'm only 30 years old, okay. Now, people will look at me and be like, oh, well, you don't have no knowledge, man. But the thing about it is that knowledge is out there for anybody. Anybody can learn it. Anybody can learn. It's wisdom that makes you wise, and that's the understanding of the knowledge. You got to understand. I've always wanted to understand everything that I've ever learned, and so I can guarantee you, man, that that's all I ever try to do. So, until the next time, man, y'all, share the video if you can. If not, just get the message and go do what you got to do. Yo.